Whatever you follow the I am with, you're handing it an invitation, opening the door, giving it permission to be in your life.
Joel Osteen talks about living your best life now. However, his ministry is facing serious issues. He did not help flood victims when Hurricane Harvey hit, showing his true character. A recent church shooting revealed problems with security. Financial records show that his church spends more on TV broadcasts than helping the poor. Other pastors claim he no longer preaches Christianity. Sources close to his family also say another crisis may threaten his ministry. Here's what is going wrong with Joel Osteen. Joel's early life. Born on March 5, 1963, in Houston, Texas, Joel Osteen grew up in a family that was anything but ordinary. He was raised in a home filled with faith and ambitious dreams as one of 6 children. His father, John Osteen, was originally a traditional Southern Baptist pastor, but made a significant shift in 1959, just before Joel's birth. He left behind conventional practices to establish what would become Lakewood Church. Joel's mother, Dodie, is John's steadfast supporter. The family faced numerous challenges, especially when Joel's sister, Lisa, was born with severe disabilities in 1958. Instead of succumbing to despair, they turned to faith healing, which became central to their church's message. While Joel's siblings chose distinct paths, they were all influenced by their upbringing. Lisa became an associate pastor at Lakewood, while his brother Paul pursued a career as a vascular surgeon and missionary. Their lives were shaped by adversity and deep-rooted beliefs. Lakewood Church had an unassuming start. In May 1959, John and Dodie opened their church in an old feed store called Lakewood Baptist Church. The Baptist label was dropped as the church grew, paving the way for a vibrant community centered on miracles and healing. By the late 1970s, membership swelled to over 5,000. Contrary to what many might expect, Joel was not inclined to preach initially. He was more reserved and focused on the background. After graduating high school in 1981, he attended Oral Roberts University, but left after a year, not out of confusion, but because he was drawn to a different calling. At just 19, Joel returned to Houston, not aiming to preach, but to build Lakewood's television ministry from the ground up. He secured a local station and a national cable channel, dedicating 17 years to perfecting every broadcast. His vision was clear. The church's message should be as polished as mainstream media. Joel's behind-the-scenes efforts laid the groundwork for Lakewood's recognition long before he stepped into the spotlight as a preacher. Despite working behind the cameras, he learned from his father's sermons, absorbing the essence of effective communication. In 1981, the Osteen family faced a major trial when Dodie was diagnosed with terminal cancer. While doctors lost hope, the family's faith remained strong. Dodie survived, reinforcing their belief in the power of perseverance and prayer. Although he hesitated to take the pulpit, a turning point came in January 1999 when Joel finally agreed to give a sermon. Nervous but determined, he spoke candidly, sharing personal stories and humor to connect with the audience. Just days after his debut, tragedy struck. Joel's father passed away suddenly from a heart attack, leaving a leadership void in Lakewood, which had over 6,000 members. Despite his grief and lack of formal training, Joel stepped into the role, guided by the instincts honed over years of close observation. Lakewood's explosive growth. On June 7, 1999, Joel Osteen became the senior pastor at Lakewood Church after his father's death. Attendance grew from 6,000 to over 25,000 weekly by 2004, making Lakewood the largest church in the U.S. This growth happened because Joel invested in media, improved TV slots, and created uplifting, easy-to-understand sermons. A key moment came in 2003 when Lakewood signed a 30-year lease for the Compaq Center, which used to be home to the Houston Rockets. They spent $95 million to renovate the arena and later bought it for $7.5 million in 2010. The grand opening on July 16, 2005, had 16,000 attendees, and total attendance went over 40,000, as Joel's positive messages resonated with many. His book, Your Best Life Now, was released in October 2004. It sold over 500,000 copies in 3 months and eventually topped 4 million worldwide. Joel Osteen is a preacher and brand builder. After 2005, he stopped taking a salary from Lakewood Church and relied on his 15 books, including Become a Better You, which earned him $13 million. His speaking events attracted large audiences, with fees between $100,000 and $200,000 per appearance. He also makes significant income from merchandise and has 25 million followers on Facebook. In 2013, he started the Night of Hope Tour, offering affordable tickets. This tour became very successful, filling the American Airlines Arena in Miami. By 2017, Lakewood had spent $6.7 million on these events, showing the strength of Osteen's vision. Osteen reaches a broad audience by appearing on popular shows like Oprah and Larry King. His message promotes hope and motivation for everyone, not just Christians. He brings in about $55 million yearly, but only $1.2 million, or 1.3% of Lakewood's $90 million budget, goes to missions and outreach. The majority of the budget supports weekly services in the TV ministry. Joel and Victoria Osteen met in a Houston jewelry store in 1985, and they married in 1987. Victoria comes from a family that values faith and education. In 2003, she started the Lakewood Church Women's Ministry. Over time, she became co-pastor and published the best-selling book, Love Your Life. Their children, Jonathan and Alexandra, grew up in this active environment. Jonathan was born in 1995 and Alexandra was born in 1998. They both got involved in the ministry at a young age. Jonathan studied film and led worship, while Alexandra became a lead vocalist for Lakewood's worship band, LYA. The Osteen family shapes the church's music and youth programs, appealing to a new generation despite some criticism. Critics call it cotton candy Christianity. Joel Osteen is a prominent figure in modern Christian preaching, closely linked to the word of faith and prosperity gospel movements. His core message is that faith can lead to health, wealth, and success. Osteen emphasizes that God desires for everyone to thrive rather than struggle. He promotes that God's will allows individuals to pay their bills, live debt-free, and enjoy good health. While many find this uplifting, others view it as controversial or dangerous. Traditional Christian teachings often acknowledge that life includes suffering and that faith does not guarantee wealth. Prosperity preaching, however, twists this notion, suggesting that your thoughts and spoken words can attract blessings, almost like flipping a switch. With over 40,000 attendees weekly and millions reached through his sermons, Osteen's success raises eyebrows regarding his estimated wealth of $40 to $60 million. Critics caution that his message risks blaming those in poverty for their hardships, implying that a lack of wealth or health is a sign of weak faith. They argue it reduces Christianity to a feel-good philosophy lacking a more profound transformation. Osteen aims to inspire hope and positivity, often avoiding discussions about sin or repentance. Instead, his sermons focus on self-improvement and optimism, which some theologians criticize as Christianity without acknowledging sacrifice. They argue that while he seeks to uplift, his approach neglects essential aspects of Christian faith. One scholar noted that this style might create happier pagans rather than faithful followers of Christ. Reactions from fellow pastors have been mixed. Michael Horton dubbed Osteen's approach cotton candy gospel, sweet but lacking nourishment, while theologian J.I. Packer warned that ignoring repentance is concerning. Many believe his message is not just simplistic but distorts traditional Christian teachings, leading some to label it as heretical. Additionally, Lakewood Church, where Osteen preaches, has faced scrutiny for its practices surrounding communion and baptism, two significant traditions in Christianity. Critics have claimed that these sacred rituals were seldom observed. However, on April 26, 2025, Osteen baptized hundreds, indicating a shift in practice. While the church still values communion, it isn't performed weekly as in many other congregations. This inconsistency contributes to a perception that the church may prioritize modern appeal over traditional faith practices, further stoking debate on its authenticity. Lawsuits, hurricanes, and a deadly shooting. In July 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Lakewood Church, led by Joel Osteen, took a $4.4 million loan from the federal Paycheck Protection Program. This program was meant to help small businesses and nonprofits pay their staff during shutdowns. Many were upset because Lakewood is the largest megachurch in America, has an annual budget of nearly $90 million, and Osteen's net worth is estimated between $50 and $100 million. In October 2021, the church agreed to repay the loan and said that neither Joel nor Victoria Osteen personally benefited from it. This situation sparked a nationwide debate about how megachurches handle money and rely on public support. A financial report showed that Lakewood spent only $1.2 million on community missions, just 1.3% of its budget. In comparison, the church paid $25.1 million on TV broadcasts and $31.7 million on services and programs each year. This raised concerns that the church focuses more on growing its brand than helping the community. Joel Osteen stopped taking a salary from Lakewood Church around 2004 or 2005. His net worth is estimated to be between $50 and $100 million, mostly from book sales and speaking events. His first book, Your Best Life Now, sold over 4 million copies. He lives in a mansion worth up to $16 million and has another home valued at about $3 million, with property taxes nearing $250,000 a year. Lakewood faced criticism in 2011 when the band The American Dollar sued the church for using their song without permission. The church said it was a misunderstanding, but a judge ruled in their favor in 2012, showing that it operates more like a business. When Hurricane Harvey hit Houston in August 2017, people criticized Lakewood for not opening its doors quickly as a shelter. Though they eventually did, the delay hurt Osteen's reputation. In July 2025, during Hurricane Beryl, the church provided supplies, but people still remembered their past mistakes. In 2014, a family sued Lakewood after an usher allegedly hurt their 18-month-old child during a service. The church settled for $15,000. There were also security concerns about how well the church protected its members. After a shooting incident, Osteen spoke to the congregation about faith over fear. Some people, including the shooter's grandmother, wanted more than just words. They wanted real change. On July 30th, 2025, Osteen announced that his mother, Dolores Dodie Osteen, had passed away. The church community loved her. Meanwhile, Victoria Osteen continues to be involved in the church with her new book and podcast, but the atmosphere feels different and more subdued due to recent events.